Hi, You Can Heal family. I'm Shena. We're reading through 2 Kings in the Old Testament, and today we're on chapter 18. So I just got back from a walk. It was about an hour walk, and it was a really good walk. And I was like, oh, when I get in, I need to read this Bible. And I'm like, I hope the chapter's not too long. That's honestly what I thought. And I really was hoping there's nothing too gory in here today. I don't know, it's really getting to me. But on my walk, I was thinking about like negative thoughts and trusting God. Those were the two themes, and listening to a couple videos about that. And just how we really have to trust God for things that we're hoping for, and being really mindful of the things we're thinking about, because those things can really bring us down, you know. It's easier to think of negative things than of positive things. So we really have to be very intentional about our thought life. So I spent some time like thinking really on God's promises and his word. So I just thought I'd share that with you as I'm transitioning into reading. So this chapter is long. So strap in, listen up, and let's get to it. Did I say my name is Shena? I do not remember, but I'm Shena, and I'm here reading through the Bible, and I'm sharing my reading time with you. So we're doing this together. Chapter 18 of 2 Kings. It's the first section is spiritual evaluation of Hezekiah. Hezekiah, son of Ahaz, began to rule over Judah in the 3rd year of King Hoshea's reign in Israel. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years. His mother was Abijah, the daughter of Zechariah. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, just as his ancestor David had done. Okay, so this king, it says, he removed the pagan shrines, smashed the sacred pillars, and knocked down the Asherah poles. Well, finally, a king that is doing something right. Let's see how long this lasts, right? Okay, so he knocked down the poles. He broke up the bronze serpent that Moses had made, because the people of Israel had begun to worship it by burning incense to it. The bronze serpent was called Nehushtan. Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel. There was never another king like him in the land of Judah, either before or after his time. Well, thank God. He remained faithful to the Lord in everything, and he carefully obeyed all the commands the Lord had given Moses. So the Lord was with him, and Hezekiah was successful in everything he did. He revolted against the king of Assyria and refused to pay him tribute. He also conquered the Philistines as far distant as Gaza and its territory, from their smallest outpost to their largest walled city. Well, this is finally some good news. King Hezekiah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now let's go on. The invasion of Israel by Assyria. During the 4th year of Hezekiah's reign, which was the 7th year of King Hoshea's reign in Israel, King Shalmaneser of Assyria attacked Israel and began a siege on the city of Samaria. 3 years later, during the 6th year of King Hezekiah's reign and the 9th year of King Hoshea's reign in Israel, Samaria fell. At that time, the king of Assyria deported the Israelites to Assyria and put them in colonies in Halah along the banks of the Habor River in Gozan, and among the cities of the Medes. For they had refused to listen to the Lord their God. Instead, they had violated his covenant, all the laws the Lord had given through his servant Moses. First invasion of Judah by Assyria. Verse 13. In the 14th year of King Hezekiah's reign, King Sennacherib of Assyria came to attack the fortified cities of Judah and conquered them. King Hezekiah sent this message to the king of Assyria at Lachish: I have done wrong. I will pay whatever tribute money you demand if you will go away. The king of Assyria then demanded a settlement of more than 11 tons of silver and about 1 ton of gold. To gather this amount, King Hezekiah used all the silver stored in the temple of the Lord and in the palace treasury. Hezekiah even stripped the gold from the doors of the Lord's temple and from the doorposts he had overlaid with gold, and he gave it all to the Assyrian king. What does this commentary say? The conquest of Lachish is well attested in Assyrian sources. Hezekiah's admission that he had done wrong acknowledged that he had rebelled against Assyrian rule. He was undoubtedly hoping that upon receiving the demanded tribute, Sennacherib would go home. That was not the case. The Assyrian wanted nothing less than total surrender. All this history, I'm telling you, you guys. We already talked about this. Y'all know I did not do good in high school, or really, I don't even think I took a history class in college. I don't even know. But it looks like King Hezekiah messed up, so now he's stripping the temple of gold and silver? What's going on? Tracy and Mimi, help me out here. You guys seem to be the ones who like the history, I think, out of those of us who are involved in this Old Testament reading. Anyways, second invasion of Judah by Assyria. Now, I don't know why I'm so tickled. Let me settle down. Nevertheless, the king of Assyria sent his commander-in-chief, his field commander, and his personal representative from Lachish with a huge army to comfort King Hezekiah in Jerusalem. The Assyrians stop beside the aqueduct that feeds water into the upper pool near the road leading to the field where cloth is bleached. They summoned King Hezekiah, but the king sent these officials to meet with them: Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the palace administrator, Shena, the court secretary, and Joah, son of Asaph, the royal historian. Then the Assyrian king's personal representative sent this message to King Hezekiah. Oh gosh, what is this going to say? This is what the king of Assyria says. What are you trusting in that makes you so confident? Do you think that mere words can substitute for military skill and strength? Which of your allies will give you any military backing against Assyria? Will Egypt? If you lean on Egypt, you'll find it to be a stick that breaks beneath your weight and pierces your hand. The Pharaoh of Egypt is completely unreliable. But perhaps you will say, we are trusting in the Lord our God. But isn't he the one who was insulted by King Hezekiah? Didn't Hezekiah tear down his shrines and altars and make everyone in Judah worship only at the altar here in Jerusalem? I'll tell you what, my master, the king of Assyria, will strike a bargain with you. If you can find 2,000 horsemen and an entire army, he will give you 2,000 horses for them to ride on. With your tiny army, how can you think of challenging even the weakest contingent of my master's troops, even with the help of Egypt's chariots and horsemen? What's more, do you think we have invaded your land without the Lord's direction? The Lord himself told us, go and destroy. So that was the Assyrian king's representative that was saying those things, giving that message to Hezekiah. Lord, let me go for God. Verse 26. Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, Shena, and Joah, said to the king's representative, please speak to us in Aramaic, for we understand it well. Don't speak in Hebrew, for the people on the wall will hear. But Sennacherib's representative replied, my master wants everyone in Jerusalem to hear this, not just you. He wants them to know that if you do not surrender, this city will be put under siege. The people will become so hungry and thirsty that they will eat their own dung and drink their own urine. Oh my gosh. Then he stood and shouted in Hebrew to the people on the wall, listen. I just lost my place. Listen to this message from the great king of Assyria. This is what the king says. Don't let King Hezekiah deceive you. He will never be able to rescue you from my power. Don't let him fool you into trusting in the Lord by saying the Lord will rescue us. This city will never be handed over to the Assyrian king. Don't listen to Hezekiah. These are the terms of the king of Assyria. These are the terms the king of Assyria is offering. Make peace with me, open the gates, and come out. Then I will allow each of you to continue eating from your own garden and drinking from your own well. Then I will arrange to take you to another land like this one, a country with bountiful harvest of grain and wine, bread and vineyards, olive trees and honey, a land of plenty. Choose life instead of death. Don't listen to King Hezekiah when he tries to mislead you by saying, the Lord will rescue us. Have the gods of any other nation ever saved their people from the king of Assyria? What happened to the gods of Hamath and Arpad? And what about the gods of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Iva? Did they rescue Samaria from my power? Who is talking here? I don't Oh my God. Don't listen to Hezekiah. These are the terms of King of Assyria is offering. Then Eliakim. Okay, so then Eliakim, the king's representative, must be talking. Okay. Did they rescue Samaria from my power? What God of any nation has ever been able to save its people from my power? Name just one. So what makes you think that the Lord can rescue Jerusalem? But the people were silent and did not answer because Hezekiah had told them not to speak. Then Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, the palace administrator, Shebna, the court secretary, and Joash, son of Asaph, the royal historian, went back to Hezekiah. They tore their clothes in despair, and they went in to see the king and told him what the Assyrian representatives have said. So it sounds like King Hezekiah didn't want them to react to what the Assyrian king was saying. So in verse 19, I guess we're going to see the reaction of the report, because it starts off when King Hezekiah heard the report. He tore his clothes and put on sackcloth and went into the temple of the Lord to pray. So it sounds like he's still for the Lord here, King Hezekiah. He sounds like he's still a good king, and we'll find out tomorrow. So come on back tomorrow and join me. Listen, don't let me read this alone. Come on now. I so appreciate you guys listening, because as I'm reading, I know someone is going to listen. You guys are faithfully in the comments day after day. So that really helps me. I mean, this is a grind. I'm looking at it. Let's encourage ourselves. Let's see how much more Old Testament we have. And then you guys, I think when we finish this, we're kind of getting there actually. Now that I look, this is kind of encouraging me. We have, I'll hold it up. We have this much more Bible to go. So that's a lot of Bible, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're going to get to it. We're getting to it. So anyways, come on back tomorrow and see what's up with King Hezekiah and how he tore his clothes after hearing the report. Yeah, maybe we'll double up on some chapters if they, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The Psalms and Proverbs. We've read a lot of the Psalms already, though. So I think we're well on our way. Hopefully by, the spring we should be done, or maybe who thinks it might be sooner. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for listening. I love you. Always remember, true healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God's love, and he lives on the inside of you. And remember, think good things today. Think on the word of God. And that will help you get through your day. Talk soon. Bye.